Hey guys, welcome to the Homestead. So today we're going to talk about why they are conditioning, how they are conditioning the public, the American public, to turn away from homegrown foods. I think that's kind of been something we've seen over the last few weeks, especially with the whole Davos thing and the WEF, World Economic Forum. And so we saw, number one, I did that video where they talked about rice is killing the planet. Growing rice is producing more carbon dioxide that is destroying the planet. We have to stop growing rice. And then, also talking about farmers and how they're destroying the planet, and we need less food in order to not starve. If we're going to save everybody, we have to stop eating. That was something we talked about. It got a right. And then a few days after that, a bunch of other things came out on studies that show that growing food is bad on a small scale. Now, the whole Davos thing, I said, they're talking mostly about, commercial farmers, but make no mistake, they don't want you growing food either. And I mentioned that the USDA, earlier in the last year, they wanted people to register their gardens, and they were trying to go for community gardens. But make no mistake, they want your garden. They want to know where your garden is. They want to know how much food you're producing or animals you're raising. And so this whole thing comes out that, yes, when you produce on a small scale, it's horrible for the environment. Here's one of the things I saw going around the headlines. This article says carbon footprint of homegrown food 5 times greater than those grown conventionally. A study found individual garden infrastructure responsible for increased levels of CO2. See, this is your personal garden. You're destroying the planet. You growing food is harmful. This is not good for anybody. You rebels out there deciding to grow your own food instead of going to the supermarket like everyone else. And then there was this one. No, not 5 times larger. This one says 6 times larger. It says food from urban agriculture has carbon footprint 6 times larger than conventional produce, study shows. So they went, no, not 5 times, 6 times. And this was published, a study by the University of Michigan. And so, this is talking about you small farmers, you small gardeners, those of you who rebelliously try to grow your own tomatoes. Or they even mentioned tomatoes, I think, in the study. That's a horrible, horrible thing to grow. And cucumbers and all this other peppers and all this other stuff. You horrible people who try to grow your own vegetables. And what really got people into an uproar was that the WEF Davos thing, there was a clip of a guy who came out and says, you have to stop drinking coffee. Coffee is destroying the planet. It's too large of a CO2 footprint. And that really got people angry. See, listen, I don't think they're going to succeed in their ambitions. I really don't think these globalists are going. See, this is communism, okay? This is communism, pure and simple. And every time people try out the Karl Marx model, it fails every single time. And it will fail this time. And our country is complete. The whole world, this whole central bank, it's all run by the central bank. This is all run by the World Economic Forum's plans of globalism. And it's going to fail. It may destroy everybody in the process of pushing what they want to push, but it's not going to succeed. These things never succeed. Now, so all that to say, we come down to this. There was this headline all over the place just last week. Over at Yahoo News, it says Chrissy Tegan says her 5-year-old son has never eaten a vegetable. Now, I don't know who Chrissy Tegan is. Apparently, she's some model or some actress or has some kind of TV show where she goes and tries different restaurants or something like that. But she's saying that my 5-year-old has never eaten a vegetable. The article starts off like this. Do you remember how old you were when you finally learned to embrace vegetables? Or maybe you're still begrudgingly packing your NutriBullet with spinach, celery, and other veggies, and you're not alone. I guess, Chrissy Teigen's 5-year-old is amongst you. During an appearance on Jimmy Kimmel Live to talk about her new show, Chrissy and Dave Dine Out, Chrissy Teigen revealed that her 5-year-old son Miles is anti-veggies. The cookbook author even recalled the moment when Miles, who she says has never eaten a vegetable, had a bit of a freak out when he discovered a piece of broccoli in his fried rice. He accidentally ate a broccoli flora in a fried rice, and he was so upset about it, Tegan revealed. Tegan went on to say that it's a struggle to get children to eat fruits and vegetables. It's not a struggle to get kids to eat vegetables. All you do is you don't feed them. You just don't feed them. And eventually, they'll eat the vegetables. It's that simple. And adults do this too. You ever go to the cupboard? I think I mentioned this in other videos. You ever go to the cupboard, you open up the cupboard, and you're like, oh, nothing looks good in here. I'm hungry, but and you go back to doing what you're doing. And then about 10 minutes later, you go back to the cupboard, you open it up. Oh, there's nothing here. And then a few of these things go by, a few of these instances go by where you go to the cupboard and you just don't see anything that just strikes you just right. And one time, eventually, you go to the cupboard, you go to the fridge, whatever, and you open it up, and all of a sudden, there it is. There's something that appeals to you because you got hungrier. And the hungrier you got, the more things appeared to be looking pretty tasty. It's the same thing with kids. You can do this exact same thing with kids. Years ago, we met a family whose 2-year-old was morbidly obese. He looked like he was 11, but he was 2. He was 10 or 11 years old, but he was 2. And that kid, the parents admitted to us, had his entire life since birth, basically since he could stop, since he started chewing, was eating nothing but mac and cheese. Mac and cheese. Nothing but mac and cheese. The kid was gigantic because all they fed him was mac and cheese. Well, if we feed him anything else, he just has a fit. Let him starve. Let him go without a meal. Other things will eventually look appealing to him once he's hungry enough. But see, we don't have this ability to say no. We don't have this no muscle in our vocabulary anymore as Americans because we're weak and wussified. We don't. My kitchen is not a restaurant. You don't get to come in and look at a menu and order this. I mean, that's what Chrissy Tegan in the article said that she does with her kids. They have a whole menu of things they can choose from. And the kid won't choose it. All he wants is no vegetables. I guarantee you, I can put some things on that menu that kid will eat, and it'll be because he's hungry enough. My point being, I'm not trying to make a rant on kids not eating, their vegetables. I'm trying to make a point that this is the way it's being pushed on us, is that you don't need these things. You don't need to grow your you don't even need to eat vegetables. All you need to do is go to the store and we're going to be able to give you certain things that you can choose from, and you'll be able to subsist and exist on those things. If we can just make chicken nuggets out of crickets, what more could your child want? Every kid loves chicken nuggets. Because it's got all those, addicting chemicals in them that makes them come back every time they pass, a McDonald's when they're on the car ride. Mom, McDonald's. And so you pull in and you get them chicken McNuggets. Not in this house. We don't do that. Absolutely not. But that's what they'll do. And, if we can make chicken nuggets out of crickets, well, then every kid will be happy. And then they'll make all these things that you love out of crickets, and then you'll be happy. And you won't have to worry about growing your garden anymore. See, this is the thing I'm telling you. They're pushing this agenda that veggies, no one likes veggies anyway. I haven't even fed my kid veggies. That's what they're saying. You don't need veggies. You don't need to grow these things. You don't need to have a garden. It's destructive to the environment. Is that what they're pushing? I think that's the mantra going forward. I think we're going to see an awful lot of stuff coming forward in 2024 that's going to be very anti-garden. And what's going to happen here is you're going to see, because all of these major corporations right now are pushing this DEI, diversity, and all ESG stuff. They're pushing all of this stuff, all of these social, culture programs, mind propaganda. They're pushing all these things. Along with that, you're going to see this year, we'll see this spring how it looks. But, maybe not, but we'll see. Maybe I'm off on this. But they've been pushing all this ESG, DEI stuff. They'll put all this, they'll make things less available for you gardeners. This year, there just won't be as many seeds available. This year, there won't be a lot of the Jiffy stuff and those seed trays and, the watering cans. What do you need to buy watering cans for? You're not growing your own vegetables, are you? You don't need that stuff. Well, we're not going to carry it. So you're going to have to find something else. We'll see if that's what happens, because that's what I see the agenda pushing at everything towards right now, is that gardens are bad. They're harmful for the environment. You don't want to grow your own food. It's bad. And so, kids don't need to eat vegetables. I don't even feed my, some actress. I've never heard of her, but she's out there telling, I don't even feed my kid vegetables. Why do you need vegetables? We'll see if the corporations start dwindling down their offerings, that usually go towards the gardeners coming up this spring. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. All right, guys. Got a lot more stuff coming up. I just did a video on our Patreon channel of my ham radio, or let's call it radio strategy, communication strategy. I just talked about putting up this. I'm going to be putting up this J-pole antenna soon. It's going to allow me to listen to 2 meters and 70 centimeters, the bands, and then got some other stuff talked about over there at patreon.com. If you want to join our Patreon, become a patron, you can do that over at patreon.com/AnAmericanHomestead, and I'll talk you through my radio communication strategy going forward with these crazy times we're living in. Also, we're still giving away these extract books. If you find these on Amazon, it's going to cost you $800 for one, $900 for the other. The reason they're so valuable is the information that is contained within all these tinctures and different things the pharmacies don't want you to know about. They've been trying to get them out of your ability to read for the last 100 years. This guy who wrote this book was over 100 years ago in the 1800s. These are out of copyright, out of print, and I'm giving them to you as a patron for $1. If you get in for $1 a month as a patron, I will give you the PDF so you can download them and print them out yourself. So over at the links for that are in the description below. Also, check out our merchandise, teespring.com. It's these things that keep us, on YouTube, because YouTube doesn't give us any incentive to be here anymore. They just demonetize some other videos. So anyway, Stupid Should Hurt. If we had more hurt in this world, we'd have an awful, awful lot less stupid. It's our best-selling shirt of all time, primarily because it's true. See you next time in the Homestead. Bye. Have you ever gone to a health food store and seen all those small bottles of probiotics in your cooler section? Man, can they be pricey. Are you really getting all you need to improve your gut health from those expensive bottles? How viable are they? Most of those products claim to give you between 8 and 15 strains of gut-healthy healing bacteria. Think of each strain of bacteria as a different factory in your gut. Each factory is responsible for breaking down that food in its own way. The more factories you have, the more the food is broken down and the easier the food is absorbed and digested by the body. A 2018 study published by the National Library of Medicine shows that one fermented head of cabbage can produce up to 114 strains of beneficial bacteria. That's a lot more food factories than you're getting from that expensive pill bottle. And that's just cabbage. Imagine the probiotics when you add garlic, onions, pepper, and more to that ferment. PerfectPickler.com and its home fermentation kits provide you with everything you need to get started making your own gut-healthy food factories from the comfort of your own kitchen. PerfectPickler.com even provides a jam-packed recipe book with many of our kits. Visit PerfectPickler.com and start fermenting your own veggies to begin your journey to better gut health. That's PerfectPickler.com. Hey guys, did you know you can become a patron of An American Homestead? They get access to private videos, and we send them gifts from the homestead that we make here on the homestead. And we also enter our patrons into special giveaways that are only available to them. And before you go, please check out these other great videos. Go ahead, click. I'll wait.